You won't believe what just went down live on ESPN. Yes, live. Picture this. Molly Qerim, the ever-composed, perfectly poised sideline reporter, caught completely off guard, jaw-dropping, eyes wide, as Stephen A. Smith, yes, the man who never holds back, dropped bombshell NBA secrets that no one was supposed to hear. And I mean big secrets, the kind that could make players sweat, coaches panic, and fans absolutely lose their minds. What if I told you some of the league's untouchables have been hiding scandals so wild, so outrageous, that even Hollywood writers would blush? What deals were being made behind closed doors? What money was quietly flowing under the radar? And more importantly, how did Stephen A. just casually spill the tea like it was Sunday brunch gossip? Molly looked shocked, stunned, even betrayed, like someone just ripped the curtain off the biggest show in basketball history. Social media exploded. Clips are going viral faster than a LeBron dunk.
News for you, you can't wake up and be Mad Dog Russo. You can't wake up and be Adam Shine. You can't wake up and be Stephen A. It takes work. In the end, we all have people.
Let's rewind for a second, because this didn't just start with one slip of the tongue. Oh no, this story has roots. Deep, tangled roots in NBA politics, hidden agendas, and secret deals whispered in luxury suites. Our key players, Stephen A. Smith, the man who speaks like he owns ESPN, and Molly Qerim, the calm center of chaos, always smiling, until now. And behind them, a storm that's been brewing, hidden from fans, buried under PR statements and no comments. For years, whispers floated around about the NBA's favorite golden children, the untouchables who could do no wrong, players protected by the league, coaches given invisible immunity, and GMs pulling puppet strings from the shadows. But no one dared to expose it. No one dared to cross the line, until Stephen A. snapped. Yes, snapped. On live television, with Molly sitting beside him, stunned, frozen, eyes darting off camera as if begging someone to cut to commercial. But it was too late. He didn't just go off script, he nuked the whole script. He hinted at backdoor agreements, private meetings, between star players and commissioners, and even suggested that certain playoff outcomes weren't exactly left to fate. That's right, he dared to whisper the forbidden word, influence. Not fixing. Influence. A word that hits harder. A word that sends legal teams scrambling. To understand this nuclear meltdown, we need to dive into the timeline, because this wasn't random. It was building. From his past on-air clashes with Molly, the awkward silences, the tense glances, insiders now claim Stephen A. was fed up. Not with her, but with what she represented. Corporate control. ESPN muzzling voices. The voices that knew too much. Remember that mysterious incident last year, when Molly suddenly went on break, no explanation given? Social media speculated everything, from illness to secret negotiations. But now, after Stephen's explosive rant, new theories are surfacing, that she witnessed something she wasn't supposed to. Something involving league executives, champagne meetings, and special contracts, designed to protect certain stars no matter what scandals followed them. Oh, and let's not forget the curious case of that certain all-star player. No names, but let's just say his jersey sells too well to ever hit the media's bad side. Reports allegedly claim he was shielded from a massive controversy that could have ended his career. Suspicious timing, sudden hush-hush settlements, and then nothing. Silence. But Stephen A. hinted that Molly knew, that she saw things, that she may have been pressured to stay quiet. And that's when the real twist drops, because those weren't just random leaks he mentioned. They were warnings, shot across the bow. People ain't ready for what I know, he said, staring dead into the camera. Not at the audience, not at Molly, at someone behind the lens, someone powerful, someone watching. Molly froze. She wasn't reacting to what he said, she was reacting to what he was capable of saying next. That's when her eyes widened. That half-smile disappeared. Her body language, panic, a silent plea. Not here, not now. But Stephen didn't care. He was done playing nice. The control room didn't cut the feed. Why? Some say they wanted drama. Others think they were stunned, frozen. And in that deafening silence between hosts, fans at home felt something different. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't first take theater. This was real. Clips immediately hit TikTok, Instagram, Reddit threads went insane. What did Stephen mean? Why did Molly look scared? What NBA secrets are they hiding? Conspiracy mode activated. Memes flooded timelines. Fans zoomed in on her expression like it was the Zapruder film. One user wrote, "That wasn't Molly the host, that was Molly the witness." And here's where everything shifts, because while Stephen A. was ranting, he dropped a phrase people missed at first. It ain't just basketball anymore. That's when this story stopped being about sports, and became something bigger. Money, power, control, players bribing refs, owners colluding behind closed doors, league officials handpicking MVP narratives. Everything that fans joked about, he just hinted might be true. Think about it. How many inexplicable trades have happened? How many sudden scandals vanished mid-season? How many controversial suspensions were reduced due to further review? Fans saw coincidences. Stephen saw patterns. And for the first time, he spoke. And Molly? Viewers swear she tried to change the subject. She tried to pivot, but he steamrolled ahead.
Somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to me. We've been partners on the show for the last 10 years. And a lot of times some of these things happen and it's just
The instant Stephen A.'s words slipped into the public bloodstream, it was like tossing a match into a room full of gasoline. Boom. The internet didn't just react, it imploded. Clips of Molly's reaction hit social platforms faster than ESPN could pull the replay. And then came the whispers, the anonymous insiders, the so-called hidden files. At first, people thought it was just Stephen being dramatic. Standard TV theatrics. But then an account claiming to be a former ESPN staffer, username at DeepLocker23, posted a chilling message. He didn't even reveal 10% of what he knows. Contracts, private meetings, favor deals. It's all real. That one tweet gathered over 4 million views in hours. Fans started stitching clips, decoding every facial twitch, every pause, every nervous glance from Molly as if she held the key to Pandora's box. Then came the fake investigative leaks, so believable that even die-hard fans questioned everything. Alleged documents titled Project Whistle began circulating. These files suggested private communication between top NBA execs and media puppets to control narratives, silence scandals, and protect marketable players at any cost. One screenshot claimed a superstar's suspension was mysteriously reduced because it would negatively affect Christmas game ratings. Another showed a text thread supposedly from a league official, "Keep him clean. No drama during playoffs. We control the storm." Fake or not, people believed it. Why? Because it fit the puzzle Stephen hinted at. And then, Molly's name appeared, not in scandal, in silence. A file labeled Observation Assets listed analysts who had seen confidential reports but remained loyal to league interests. Listed under Trusted Hosts was one name, MQ, observed, compliant, never leaks. Suddenly, Molly wasn't just a shocked host. She was a keeper of secrets. Social media turned her image upside down. She wasn't the polished anchor anymore. She was the eyewitness. The one who knew. The one who didn't speak. Comments exploded. She looked terrified. She knows. She's not just a host, she's part of the machinery. Did Stephen expose her too? Meanwhile, Stephen A. ghosted. No tweets. No IG stories. No podcast reaction. Total silence. And that's when the real storm began, fake insiders filling the void with leaks. The anonymous sources begin to speak. Someone calling themselves former league rep posted on Reddit, "I attended a closed-door session in 2021. Stephen argued against censorship. Molly was warned not to let him go off script. He's been on watch ever since." Another source wrote, "What he hinted at, that wasn't about games. It was about cover-ups, affairs, illicit deals, payoffs for silence. ESPN knows." And like clockwork, old clips resurfaced. Moments where Molly seemed unusually tense, interrupting Stephen with, "We can't go there," her smile forced, her voice trembling. Back then, fans shrugged it off. Now, fans were screaming, "She's stopping truth." Public reactions, chaos mode activated on TikTok. Creators started full conspiracy breakdowns. The Molly timeline, a viral thread with 12 million views, compiled every strange moment between her and Stephen over 5 years. Every awkward laugh. Every swift topic change. Every time she sent the show to commercial a little too quickly. And then came the fan theories, wild, hilarious, and terrifyingly convincing. Theory 1, Molly holds an NDA vault with unspoken NBA stories. Theory 2, Stephen A. is preparing to leave ESPN and burn everything on his way out. Theory 3, ESPN threatened legal action during the commercial break. One user wrote, Molly looked at Stephen like she just saw the end of her career flash before her eyes. News channels refused to touch it. Sports outlets stayed quiet. But independent YouTubers? They feasted. The lavish corruption files then it escalated. New leaks emerged claiming lavish off-season gatherings, secret boat parties allegedly funded by big-name owners, VIP events where select stars were promised career protection packages. One commentator joked, "Forget NBA, this is the CIA with jerseys." The leaked doc, again, likely fake, claimed certain hosts, initials S, S, M, Q, were invited to exclusive retreats where they were warned to stay on brand. Fan reactions? Explosive. That wasn't first take, that was final warning. Stephen A. is tired of protecting kings. He's ready to slay them. What made it worse? Molly's silence. She didn't address. If part 1 was the ignition and part 2 was the explosion, then part 3 is the aftershock, the kind that rattles buildings, flips careers, and forces powerful people to scramble behind the scenes. Because once those so-called leaks hit the internet, the story spiraled beyond ESPN, beyond the NBA, straight into the realm of government whispers, legal briefs, and corporate panic. Word on the street, real or fabricated, nobody knows, is that ESPN executives held an emergency containment meeting. One insider described it as pure hysteria, phones off, doors locked, PR, legal, and content all in one room. Everyone asking the same thing, did Stephen just end us? What scared them most wasn't what Stephen had said. It was what he might say next. There were reports of late-night calls to agents, legal advisors, and even NBA headquarters. Not to confirm anything, oh no, but to prepare for damage control. The message? Shut it down. Kill the narrative. But how do you kill a narrative when you're already trending as hashtag NBA cover-up and hashtag Molly knows across every platform? The legal threat, unauthorized disclosure. Suddenly, rumors flew that ESPN lawyers were reviewing contracts, digging for clauses like unauthorized disclosure of confidential league information. Translation: if Stephen A. dared to speak again, outside the ESPN filter, they could come for his money. Giants don't win arguments, they win lawsuits. Meanwhile, Molly, she became the mystery at the center of it all. Not villain, not victim, gatekeeper. Some claimed she was being briefed daily, given talking points, stay poised, do not address speculation, but her silence only fueled the fire. TikTok creators started posting, blink twice if NBA lawyers are watching you. Molly isn't ignoring it. Molly is trapped in it. Every commercial break on First Take suddenly looked suspicious. Every side eye, every breath. Whispers of a government investigation. Outrage began pouring from fans. Calls for transparency and independent oversight spiraled into talk of congressional eyes on the NBA. Sports corruption, ratings influence, player protection schemes. Suddenly, this wasn't just a sports gossip storm, it was a potential federal storyline. Memes became manifestos. If the game is rigged, we deserve to know. We buy the tickets. We buy the jerseys. We fund the lies. That's when news broke, again, unconfirmed, that a certain congressman requested additional information about the relationship between broadcasters and professional leagues. Nothing confirmed. No evidence. But once that smoke appeared, Twitter declared it fire. The public demand, free Stephen, question Molly. Fan camps formed. Two opposing armies, hashtag Team Stephen, believing he's the whistleblower about to torch the empire. They're waiting for his podcast drop like it's a presidential address. Hashtag Team Molly, defending her as a professional caught between chaos and contracts. She's not silent by choice, one creator argued, she's silenced by power. Meanwhile, ESPN reportedly sent a temporary gag memo to staff. No speculation on air, no reaction posts online. Stephen stayed off live shows for a week. Molly appeared, polished as ever, smiling. But that smile? Internet labeled it, hostage smile. The franchise fallout, sponsors and image damage. Then came the real threat, sponsors watching. Corporations don't fear controversy. They fear unpredictability. If the NBA's integrity story cracks, brand deals fracture, billions at stake. Rumors spread that certain advertisers quietly contacted ESPN. If this turns real, we may need to reassess alignment. That's enough to shake boardrooms. That's enough to make producers whisper, we can't control him anymore. He's bigger than the show. And that's when the most chilling rumor of all surfaced. The whisper of a tell-all. Anonymous leaks hinted that Steven might be planning a rogue interview, off ESPN grounds. No commercial breaks. No filters. Just him, a mic, and everything he never said on air. Title allegedly considered? They told me to stay quiet. If that happens, it's not just NBA tremors. It's media earthquake. Molly's future, uncertain. Some say she's negotiating protection clauses. Others claim she's considering exit deals. A few say she's drafting her own statement. Because if Steven goes nuclear, someone will want her side. And that side might not be loyal. Legacy on the line. We're beyond debate chairs now. We're at the edge of media history. Will Steven become the man who broke the industry he helped build? Will Molly reveal she was never a gatekeeper, only a witness caught in the fire? Will ESPN survive if its own hosts torch the script? All we know is this: the next move decides everything. And if Steven truly means what he said, people ain't ready for what I know, then maybe we haven't seen the scandal. Maybe we've only seen the spark. So now we're left with one burning question. What happens next? Because if Steven A. really does break his silence, if Molly finally speaks, if those hidden files ever surface, this won't just be a sports drama. This will be the biggest media meltdown in modern history. Ask yourself, have we been watching a game, or a carefully scripted illusion? How many championships were won on skill, and how many were protected by profit? How many hosts smiled on camera while hiding the truth off air? But here's the real twist: this story isn't over. It's only beginning. And the next move? It won't come from networks. It'll come from voices like ours. From people who ask the questions they refuse to answer. So I want to hear from you. Do you believe Steven A. is about to expose it all? Is Molly a gatekeeper, or a silent prisoner of the system? And if the NBA is rigged, would you still watch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Light it up. Don't hold back. And if you want the truth they won't air, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because when the next leak drops, I'll be right here, breaking it before